How about this? Prisoners. Welcome aboard, boys. You'll find conditions a little cramped, but we'll treat you right, feed you well, even though you don't deserve it. I'd always heard that Japs would rather die than be taken prisoner, but these guys don't seem to object to our rescue efforts. Wait a minute. We've got something. Our B-29 is in trouble. We've got him on radar, but the lookouts haven't spotted him yet. Say, this lifeguard stuff is new to me, but it has its exciting moments. Brother, am I glad I'm not on that plane. Well, here's a couple that were lucky enough to jump. We're going over to pick them up and then survey the wreckage to see if there are others we can rescue. Maybe we'll find some still alive. This job of dragging tired and half-drowned pilots aboard a sub looks easy, but it takes careful handling and a certain amount of risk on the part of our own boys. Climbing up the side of a slippery outer hull and superstructure in a choppy sea isn't easy, even for one of our own men. So it gets a bit complicated when these zoomies drop in on us. Say, these guys look like they're badly shot up. Doc is up here now, and first aid is being given to those who need it right away. There isn't time for treating for shock and exposure on deck because we're in enemy waters and subject to attack at any moment, so the skipper says to get them below as soon as possible. Here we are now, down in the chief's quarters. Doc has made this compartment into a first-class operating room. Looks like we're going to have more company in a few minutes. You know, this picking up of flyers is getting to be quite a habit with us. Of course, most of the guys here in the sub would rather be firing fish or the deck guns, but it's a great feeling to be able to rescue a swell bunch of fellows like these, and it's a relief to have somebody new to swap yarns with after being out here for so long. Sometimes the kid you and I used to know back home isn't so lucky. We're doing all we can. No sign yet, but we're not giving up. Well, we tried, but he didn't make it. But we'll make it up to him. We'll save as many of his buddies as we can.
Yes, many of that boy's buddies were saved. At one time, we had 22 submarines on station whose primary duty was lifeguarding. All in all, we rescued more than 500 Army, Navy, and Marine aviators. The submarines were proud of that work and eager for the assignment. But in the last months of the war, it didn't supply enough action to satisfy them. So, as you will see, they figured out some special assignments for themselves. And very interesting, too.
During the summer of '45, the Taranti was in the same fix as all the other subs. No targets really worth wasting the taxpayers' torpedoes on. Or we managed to amuse ourselves. Shot up a few picket boats and other small craft. Knocked off a sea truck or two. Raised some mild hell in a general way. We played pirate and boarded some junks. Scared the crews half out of their yellow skins and gave the deep six to a lot of dried peas bound for Japan. We took a few prisoners. Exploded some mines. But there was nothing to write home about, even if we could have written home. Then one morning, we sighted a ship in the distance. It looked like it was tied to a dock alongside a Calgary. We kept it under observation for about an hour. Looked like a 2,000 or 3,000 ton freighter, taking on coal by conveyor. We held a war council. It'd be risky, entering a harbor full of rocks and shoals. Should we try it? Well, we didn't come out here to sit on our duffs. We changed course. Then the skipper, as he always did, spoke to the crew.
Fellas, I think you might like to know what we're up to. There's a 2,000 or 3,000 ton freighter in the harbor tied to a colliery dock, taking on coal. That's the biggest ship we've seen so far, and targets are too scarce these days to let any pass. On the good side of the ledger, I can mention these two items. One, there seems to be a lack of patrol craft in this spot, and two, I don't think they're ready mines because there's an awful lot of small craft around. Now, on the bad side of the ledger, the harbor's full of rocks and shoals, and navigation's going to be tough. We'll make a submerged attack, but then we'll have to service and highboat it out. If we're caught in here submerged, it'll be just too bad. However, we have the best navigator in the business. So what are we waiting for? Let's go. Battle stage is submerged.